In this tutorial, we will be understanding what are malwares and what are different types of malwares. So, being a cybersecurity expert and being into this cybersecurity field, we must know that what is the difference between each type of malware. So, creating these malwares requires a lot of experience and a lot of programming knowledge so that you can create such stuff. However, at the same time, being a beginner in this field, it is very important to know what all malwares are present. So, I have listed down the most important malwares and let's discuss them so that you are aware about what are the differences among them and you have the proper knowledge. So, malware is basically any malicious program, a software which is designed to disrupt services, cause damage, and so on. The following are the types of malware: virus, worms, trojans, ransomware, adware, keylogger, and rootkit. Now, very briefly, let's discuss about all of them. The first one being virus. So, usually people term every malware as a virus, but it is not the case. Viruses are the type of malware that infects other files, okay? And virus modifies other legitimate host files. So basically, host file means any files or pointers to them in such a way that when a victim's file is executed, the virus is also executed. So I hope this is clear now. The next type of malware is worms. So they spread over computer networks by exploiting operating system vulnerabilities, right? So if there is a vulnerability in operating system, these worms can travel through network and infect your PC. The major difference between a virus and a worm is the fact that virus spreads through human activity like from running a program, opening a file, etc., while computer worms have the ability to spread automatically without human initiation. Also, one more effect of worms can be that if your PC is infected by worms, they can eat up all your files, and at one point of time it can show you OS not detected, which means operating system not detected. Although there are a lot of security measures these days that detect worms easily, however, the cyber criminals are constantly developing many new types of worms which are FUD. FUD basically means fully undetectable. So basically these are new types of malware which even the antivirus cannot detect. So this malware we all have heard at some point of our life, Trojan, or also known as Trojan horse. So if I have to give you a reference to this, then there was a movie named Troy. So what happened in that? There was a horse, a wooden horse, which was named as Trojan horse, and it was a very big structure. So that was presented by one king to another king as a gift. But what happened that at night there were soldiers inside that Trojan horse. So at night those soldiers came out of that wooden horse and attacked their kingdom. So that is the concept of this. A Trojan horse or Trojan is a type of malicious code or software that looks legitimate but can take control of your computer. A Trojan is designed to damage, disrupt, steal, or in general inflict some other harmful action on your data or network. So basically, all malwares have almost a similar kind of nature, so they are destructive in nature. Now, what is remote access Trojan? It is also popularly known as RAT, RAT for the initials. Also, RAT stands for Remote Administrative Tool. So, this Trojan can give an attacker full control over your computer via a remote network connection. Its uses include stealing your information or spying on you. Now, there are various automated ways of creating such RAT. One of them is through Metasploit also. We can create some backdoors and gain a proper shell access. However, these days that is detected by antiviruses because they are thoroughly tested and antivirus software already have their signature in their databases. Next comes ransomware. Now, this is a hugely popular malware. So, ransomware is a type of malware that prevents or limits user from accessing their system either by locking the system screen or by encrypting the user's file unless a ransom is paid. Now, what is ransom? Ransom is a money that you pay in order to get your things back. So, whom do we have to pay? We have to pay the attackers. And how do we pay? We pay through bitcoins generally. So this is because the transactions are not traceable, and it is all a decentralized system based on blockchain technology. Hence, there is no one to monitor that where that transaction goes or who has the access to those bitcoins. That is why the attackers ask the payment in bitcoin so that no one can track them. That is the main motive. Now, a very famous and a dangerous ransomware was WannaCry ransomware. So, attackers implanted that malware even in hospitals also. So, till the time hospitals don't pay the ransom to the attacker, they won't decrypt the files. And also, there is no guarantee that if your files are encrypted and you pay the money, that your files will be decrypted by attacker. It is possible that attacker doesn't even decrypt that. So, what is the solution to that? You always need to have a backup of your important files. Either it can be your external hard disk or it can be on cloud. So you should never ever pay the ransom to an attacker even if you are infected. Howsoever important files you have, you should never pay that amount. Next comes adware. So we are familiar with this type of malware, but we don't consider this as a malware generally. So adware is any unwanted software designed to throw advertisements up on your screen, most often within a web browser. So if you talk about the ads that come before YouTube videos or so on, those are not adwares. Those are genuine ads. But sometimes it happens that you visit some websites and ads start popping up. That is the adware. What is the purpose of adware will be clear through second point. So adware generates revenue for its developers by automatically displaying online advertisements in the user interface of the software or on a screen that pops up in the user's face during the installation process. So basically, if I'm like downloading a software or something from internet, so that ads might come advertising some other third party product or something like that. So these are known as adwares. Let's move on to the next type of malware, which is keyloggers. So this type of malware is a software that tracks or logs the key struck on your keyboard, typically in a covert manner, which means that you won't know, you won't be aware about that, so that you don't know that your actions are being monitored. So consider this example. Let's say your laptop is infected with a keylogger, right? And whenever you visit some banking website, let's say Facebook, Google, whatever website you visit, whatever you type through your keyboard, that will be logged, the keystrokes will be logged and sent over to the attacker. Now, how will that happen? Because the attacker has infected your PC with a keylogger. So basic function of keylogger is that only that whatever you type, it will be sent to the attacker. This is usually done with malicious intent to collect your credit card numbers, username, passwords, account information, and other private data. Also, what happens most of the times, keylogger is used for wrong purpose, but some companies deliberately install keyloggers on their employees' laptop because they want to track them if they are doing any malicious stuff. Because many times it happens that employees try to exploit the company and send their critical data to some third party, to some other malicious actors. So that is why companies can track them, that through which laptop or which PC what action was performed. So that is the purpose of keyloggers. And last but not the least comes Rootkit. A rootkit is a computer program designed to provide continued privileged access to a computer while actively hiding its presence. Now the term rootkit is a connection of two words, root and kit. By now you must be familiar that what does root mean. So root is like a god in Linux. You can do anything if you are a root. And kit is basically collection of tools. So when you combine these two things, it means that the attacker will have a sustainable shell with all the tools and the root user. So this is one of the dangerous kinds of malware. So this was also shown in the web series Mr. Robot, which is all about hacking. Now one thing I would like to give as a personal advice, that many times what happens that many people do piracy. So they sell paid courses for free. They sell free softwares, cracked versions. They sell PDFs for free. Now, what is the interest? Why they are doing it for free? Remember one thing, nothing is for free. So they have embedded a malware in that. So basically there are free malwares available which are easily attached to MP4 videos, PDFs. So they send you the courses and in turn gain the access to your complete computer, and you won't even know. You will start observing different kinds of activities. Also, you must have observed that whenever someone tries to download a cracked software, it always asks for a DLL file not found. Why does it ask that? Because that DLL is a malicious file. That DLL file will give the connection of your computer to the attacker, and the attacker, it is possible that either attacker steals your information, or even this is possible that he is just keeping an eye on you. He can access your web camera, he can access anything that he wants. So being in cybersecurity field, you need to be aware about all such things that are happening and try to be safe always. I hope these concept about malwares are clear to you. Thank you for watching this video.